Okay, our last vocabulary word of the section. This is very exciting. And our last vocabulary word are vertical angles. So vertical angles are two non-adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines. So in our drawing, I have the intersecting lines, and then I labeled the angles 1, 2, 3, and 4 to make them a little bit easier for us to talk about. Non-adjacent means the angles are not right next to each other. So angles 1 and 3 are vertical angles, right? They're kind of like across from each other. And angles 2 and 4 are also vertical angles. What is very, very special about vertical angles is that vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent. So that means that angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. And I use those arcs to show that they are the same measure. And angle 2 and angle 4 are congruent. So I'm using a different number of arcs there to show that 2 and 4 are the same, but that they do not have to be the same as 1 and 3. So we are going to be able to use this information to help us find more angles in different geometric figures. So let's take a look at an example here in number 8. It wants us to find the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2. Now we have our intersecting lines. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is label my vertical angles and mark which ones are congruent. These angles are vertical angles and they are congruent. And these obtuse angles are also vertical angles and are congruent. So what that means is that the measure of angle 1 is 18 degrees. And somehow we have to find the measure of angle 2. Now, what's cool is that this 18-degree angle and angle 2 together make a straight line. So this is a straight angle. So that means that 18 degrees plus angle 2 has to be 180 degrees. If we subtract 18 from both sides, we get 162 degrees. So that means the measure of angle 2 is 162 degrees, and its vertical angle is also 162 degrees. See if in number 9 you can identify which angles are the vertical angles. So we should be marking these are vertical angles and these are vertical angles. So then that means that if we're trying to solve for x, remember that vertical angles are congruent. So 3x plus 20 equals 10x minus 15. So we want to get the x's on one side. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. That gives me 20 equals 7x minus 15. Add 15 to both sides. We get 35 equals 7x. Divide both sides by 7. And we get x equals